Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Shanti 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 Om Ashwara Namaste. We have seen in the last few verses Arjuna just going through all kinds of different moods as he sees the entire picture of the Lord, the Creator, Ishvara. He goes through different emotions, and he kept expressing his admiration now that he sees it. There was still a certain element of fear in Arjuna, not being able to totally digest that Ishvara is not sympathetic to anyone in particular. He's the karma paladatta. He's a system and he's totally impersonal. We can imagine his situation because he had a personal relationship with Arjuna. He was his neighbor, his friend. And then now he begins to understand that, like Swami Shimayananda used to say, a Guruji is an institution, So Ishvara was no longer neighbor or friend of Arjuna, but was the Guruji that came to teach to all of us. So he is, in the language of Swami Shimaya, he's an institution, Parapara, part of the Paramparam Sampradaya. So we have seen that Arjuna will say, you are everything, you are the source of everything comes from you, resolves back to you. All those profound nididhyastic concepts, profound concepts, Jnana Yoga. You are the source, you are beyond the knower, the known, and any knowledge gained here in this dualistic realm. All living beings come from you, go back to you. You are the source of anything that is Chetana and Achetana. Your creation is a mixture of both, the consciousness and matter. And I know you're the source of both. You're the source of consciousness and the inert world. You are beyond both. You are beyond the experience and the experienced. So all of that is just an appearance superimposition upon what we call Brahman or limitless conscious existence. Swami says that this idea is an idea pulled from Mandukya. Beta refers to, by the way, page 2076. Beta refers to Vishwa Taijaza Pranyan. Vishwa Taijaza Pranyan. So it's one single word referring to Jiva through the three stages. So Vedyam refers to Stula, Sukshma, Karana, Prapancha. So the three pairs, the Param Shadama means that which is beyond the three pairs, as we have seen in Mandukya. The three experience entities experience their respective worlds or dimensions. So you are the Turiya, you are the background, you are the foundation, you are the substratum. These are very philosophical ideas conveyed in our Upanishad teachings, such as Mandukya. Dhamma here means Chaitanya, the Turiya Chaitanya, consciousness. You are, in which all the knowers as well, the object of knowledge rest. Param Chadama. I like this concept of this phenomenal world, in which there are the knower and the known experience, and experience is just like superimposed and sitting or rest upon consciousness, our very nature. It's a very beautiful concept because the concept of resting, it indicates that consciousness, such as represented by as a symbol by space or light, does not have any resistance, you know, against against any superimposition upon itself. You know, so it's totally rest the same way the space offers no resistance, upon all the elements developed from space itself, with the intelligence of Ishvara behind it. The entire universe is pervaded by you. You are the substratum. This is a relative superimposition that rests on you. You are the absolute Visvam Tatam. The universe is pervaded by you. So this you can clearly understand. Because he's talking to his people now. He said, because you all did several Upanishads, né? Swami had already taught some Upanishads there. And he says that this is, we have seen it in the Mandukya, the concept of the absolute as the substratum or the all-pervasive or Vishvarupa Ishvara. So, Jadana, he Anantarupa or Vishvarupa Ishvara. Now it seems he's related to Krishna as Vishvarupa, Ishvara again. Because the nature of Vishvarupa Ishvara is the absolute Nirguna Brahman, as we know, the nature of everything. So sometimes it appears that Arjuna is seeing both the ultimate reality and at the same time address the ultimate reality as the creator of this relative reality, Verse 39, you are Vayuhu, Agnihi, Yamaha, Varunaha, Sasankaha, the moon, Prajapati, and the great grandfather. This is a difficult verse. The moon Prajapati. What is Prajapati? If you guys know.
I believe it's another, it's a Sanskrit term for a progenitor, a deity, mostly refers to Brahma.
Okay.
The first one of the Adi Deva, as they've called the Brahma before.
Okay. And beyond the Brahma, beyond the Creator, the great grandfather, 1,000-fold salutations be to you again and again. So that's what I mean, a lot of repetition, you are everything. That is the sense of this verse.
Yeah.
All you alone are. So now you are everything. That is the sense of this verse. So when we say that Ishvara is everything, actually, we are meaning to say that everything is Ishvara, which there is a slightly difference, because here Swamiji says, you alone you alone are everything. You are everything. So you are everything. Everything fundamentally is you. But as we know, Satya is not Mithya, although Mithya resolves itself in such as Satya, But here, all you alone are. Yamaha is the Kala Tattva. The Agni means the fire principle. Varuna means water, so the elements, and then he goes into the moon and so on. You are all of them. You should know the logic behind it also. What is the logic? In the seventh chapter itself, Krishna has introduced that Bhagwan is the cause, and the whole creation is the effect. And we know the fundamental law that the cause alone appears in the form of manifold effects. So that is the fundamental here. So when we see the manifold effects, such as the sun, the moon, and the elements, we know that fundamentally everything is but gold. No? Cause alone with different names and appears as varieties of effects, just as gold alone with different namarupas appears as different ornaments. The same concept with wooden furnitures and waves in the ocean. The ocean is water and so on. The cause being God, there are no creations other than God. The cause being gold, there are no ornaments but gold, but it appears there are some diversity, plurality, of appearance. Therefore, God alone is in the form of Akasha and so on, all the elements. We should keep this logic in mind. It's given in one particular section of Brahma Sutra. We have seen this concept here and there in modern texts and in some Upanishads as well, even in the Gita. That is that's the base upon which we can see that everything is Ishvara here, and furthermore, everything is Brahman, because we understood what is the fundamental Karana, and we know the varieties of careers or effects, namarupas. So we have the entire universe, and then you see the inert world, the world of sentient beings, and we know that behind that there is the supreme intelligence of Saguna Brahman, and then the whose nature is Nirguna Brahman itself. So we can see through and the fundamental cause and all the effects. We have to remember Brahmaji, or God, is an effect of a certain cause, which is Nirguna Brahman. Then we have the creator, creation, and the jivas. This is a powerful logic, or adhikarana. It's called Arambanadi Karana Nyaya. So he goes very technically. Did any one of you research the meaning of this word? Adhikaranam? I understood. Karanam, cause, Adi, the primordial, the first one, the initial cause. You see, fundamentally, once we understand the teachings, we can even infer some words. So this is the fundamental cause. That's the logic. What is the logic? Effects do not have independent, separate existence. They depend on its cause. They enjoy a certain dependent existence, as an effect, a namarupa. Or to put it in another language, cause alone appears as effects, as manifold effects. And applying this principle, Arjuna says, "Oh Lord, you, the cause alone, appears in the form of all jivas and all elements that brings about this physical material universe. So I see you through everything. That's what he's saying. Now I understand. Fire did not come from anywhere like that, you know? Water and the earth and so on, space. Everything comes from this supreme intelligence, which is the first primordial effect, let's say. You are the first primordial cause, and Brahmaji, or Ishvara, the creator, is the first primordial effect, we could say. And now he talks about there are 14 Prajapatis, whose departments is the expansion of the population. That's why they are called Prajapatis. Did you understand these words? Anyone? Mark and Lynn?
I looked this one up. It said these figures, the Prajapatis, are considered the caretakers of the 14 lokas, 7
Okay.
up, 7 down.
Very nice. Thank you. And those departments brings about the expansion of the population. Okay. That's why we are called Prapata. Maybe he's joking. I don't know. Therefore, they all will have many wives.
Ah, there's another part of that definition I just realized. They're considered the mind-born sons of Brahman, who he created to populate those lokas, I guess, assisting Brahma with the task of creation.
Okay. And they will have many wives, many children, so on. Something like that thing, say so. People, each one has 3 wives, and all one family will be 40, 50 people. That's true in the case of Prajapati. Kasyapata, Prajapati, Daksha, they're all described in the Puranas. Okay, more Puranas. Vishnu creates Brahma, and Brahma creates these 14 entities that somehow are supposed to populate these 14 realms with jivas. And from those 14 realms, you know, all human beings are born. Therefore, Arjuna says all those realms also, everything is you. Okay, cutting it simple to the base, all lokas, all, you know, devatas, managing those lokas, all people occupying those lokas. That's all expressions of you. They are all effects of you. You alone are. And then he says, Pita Mahaha. All the 14 departments are born out of Pitam Mahaha. Brahmaji, that is not there in the verse. We have to supply, blah, blah, blah. 14. Brahma, you are number 1, not 14. One Brahma you are, and Brahmaji himself is born out of Vishnu. So Brahmaji is Pita Mahaha. Pita Mahaha, Swami has supplied, so just to make things more Puranic and more difficult for us. Did you get the meaning of these words? Pita Mahaha?
It's like the great-grandfather.
The great
So
grandfather.
the progenitor that's way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the next Vishnu becomes the Prapitamaha, or whatever, however you say that, great grandfather.
Yeah.
So
you are the father of even Brahma. So you are you are Brahma, you are Vishnu, you are everything. So you see, he resolves Krishna as Vishvarupeshwara in Brahman as Brahman. Because he says, you are Brahman, you are Vishnu, you were born out of Vishnu, and so on. And therefore, what do I want to do? What can I do? Where does these questions come? I offer my namaskar. So what I'm going to do now that I get to understand how grandiose you are, how, the wonder of all your glory. So I have to offer namaskaras, but how often, how many, how profoundly, thousands of times I need to offer namaskar. Namaskaras, we have seen, is more than a physical exercise or physical act, but it is a profound inner devotion, reverence to the Lord who creates and holds all of us. I offer these namaskaras to you because the more I think of your greatness, I was looking for that word, your greatness, the more I feel like offering my gratitude to you. So now again, I remember Swami Vivekananda, that beautiful creature, that beautiful Mahatma that was there in south of India, where James went to stay for some time. And his devotion is so profound, and he was purified to become someone so beautiful, through devotion. And he was now all the time offering his chants and namaskaras to the Lord. He was seeing the Lord everywhere, as it was described to us from James Swartz. Salutation to you in front, salutation to you behind, salutation to you all around, O Lord. You are of limitless power, infinite courage. You pervade everything, and hence you are everything. So you pervade everything. It means to say everything is resolved in you, the substratum of everything appearing as effects and salutations. And how I'm going to give this salutation to you. So all directions, of course, because you are all over. You are out, you are in, you are behind, you are above, you are below, right, left, salutations all around. You are limitless power. So people do these namaskaras and these gestures towards some symbols of this supreme power, intelligence, the creator. In Arunachala, it was common to do that facing the mountain, which was a symbol of Shiva, which is a symbol of Shiva. But once you develop Vishwarupa, you feel like now I'm in trouble. I don't have any specific direction to do my namaskara or this and that. So, but yet people do. They pass by a temple, they give their namaskar. It's a beautiful symbol, and then pass by the mountain and pass by the ashram. They see the sculpture of Ramana Maharaj, and then they give their salutation, the namaskara, the reverence and gratitude So it does not, the Vishvarupa Darshana vision does not cancel those symbols that we mostly feel inclined, to see God through it, And as we know, it's much easier to see God through something beautiful and dharmic than to see God through something ugly, violent, and dharmic. Human nature. So Arjuna seems not to be yet satisfied. He has offered 1,000 namaskara. He's exaggerating, says Swamiji. No, Swamiji did not say that. But Arjuna is maybe exaggerating. 1,000 namaskar is too much, Arjuna. Verbal, he would have lost his legs. And now Swami's joke, not only myself. He says, with so many namaskaras like that, he would have some problem with his knees. Swamiji has problems with both knees. It says something about some postures inherent to the Indian culture, which, I mean, you see someone like Ramana Maharaj, he stayed his whole life, especially the first half of it, in samadhi, sitting in the lotus posture. And we know what he did to his body because he did not do any surgery, as far as I know. But the way he was walking, it was showing that his body structure was compromised, by sitting. Yeah, all like that, walking with great difficulty. And now we have Swamiji having to operate both knees. Seems to be the price of doing too much upasana or meditation. If you want to be too sattvic and sit all the entire life, sitting, know that there is a price to pay as well. Now, if you want to be too rajasic and being all over the place doing things, there is also a price to pay due to too much stress. I'm offering namaskaras all around, all over. Behind you, because really speaking, there is no front, no behind, no east, no west. Now he says something here. Therefore he says, so all around, I offer namaskara, savata ivate namaha astu. Who is not in the form of Krishna, who is not in the form of Raman, but who is in the form of everything in creation. And that's why we have got Pancha Bhuta Linga as a symbol. So does any you guys you have a better understanding problem than mine of this symbol of Shingalinga? So I don't know if he's referring to that because he says Pancha uh, Bhuta Linga. I don't know if it has any connection to Shiva Linga, but it's a symbol that is around something which it has a shape that is not defined. What can we say about that, if you guys know?
Pancha Bhuta Linga, I think, is referring to the five elements. And in India, the south of India, there's temples for each element. And so that they would be considered lingas as such, symbols of the elements.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Very nice. How great you are. You have got infinite strength and power. Omnipotent you are. Then Arjuna carries on saying, everything is you, everything belongs to you. We don't You don't own anything because we know that that would not be fair. Everything is you and provide to us from you, belongs to you. Yeah, we understand this concept that human beings they they go so far to believe that they own their own body mind complex sense complex, that as if a human being has really created itself. This is appropriation, which is similar to robbery, stealing things that belongs to Ishvara. Any power belongs to you as well. In one lightning itself, so much electricity is there, they say. That is, we know how to tap electricity from a flash of lightning. It said that we can provide electricity to entire city for 1 year with one flash of lightning. But the problem is that we do not have the technology to store it, let's say, or to hold it. I think we had someone that got into that, Tesla, the Mr. Tesla at the time, but that kind of technology was suppressed because there was too much money and control to be gained by fossil fuels. So we have many flashes of lightning coming every day, everywhere. How much power? And all this power belongs to you. Therefore, Ananta Vidya. Like that, you can take so much power in creation. These all alone is you. All you are alone have. Amita Vikrama, enormous value. Courage also. Some people have power but not courage. So they have the power, so they are terrified. Some people have the courage but no power. So you have both. Okay. For grammar students, okay, Swamiji, it's not our case, but maybe it is the case of Lynn and Mark. Others can enjoy their ignorant bliss. Ananta Vidyaha Amita, you pervade everything, so the idea of traveling and reaching God should go out of one's mind. So the concept of pervading everything has created some trouble, because I have a few students that are no longer traveling to come to do my seminars because they say that they are all pervasive, so they don't need to come because of their pervasive nature. So, of course, it's a joke, but some people take it serious because they mix up Satya with Mithya and Mithya with Satya. We have got a conditioning that we have to travel to reach God. The 11th chapter should demolish this condition. There is no question of reaching God within space, time, and movement, because God is one's very nature, or God is the entire manifestation. He's always present in front of us, behind us. So no question of moving in order to reach him. Then why the scripture talking about reaching God? Reaching God is simply dropping the notion that God is somewhere, only somewhere in a temple, and therefore I need to go and meet God in a temple, or if I become a Vedantino, a Vedantic advanced student, I will think that I need to do a lot of nididhyasana to reach Brahman, which is the ultimate obstacle. The idea that even though we hear over and over again that Brahman is everything's nature, the fundamental intrinsic nature of everything, of Shwara, Jiva, Jagat. So one goes into profound nididhyasana, but yet there is a tendency to reach to Brahman as if something other than myself. That is the last subtle obstacle there is. This is due to condition of objective knowledge, objective experience. If I need to know Brahman, I have to see Brahman as an objective knowledge, as an objective experience. This conditioning is very, very deep and profound. It comes from a very fundamental vasana, which is the vasana that I need to experience in order to know. And Brahman cannot be experienced in that way, but can be and is always available to be owned or claimed as one's nature. So therefore, there is no question of reaching Brahman or reaching Ishvara. The only question is doing something, and then some doing is relevant, doing something to improve the intellect in order to understand that you are what you are looking for. To use a phrase that is very common and does not help anybody usually in the the circles around. Oh, you are okay, great, okay. And then I don't need to do any seeking and searching. I have got my birth, my movement, my dance. This is an indication that there is time and I'm moving time towards a certain direction. Maybe I'm gonna go to one of these superior locus. How many kilometers the wave should travel to reach the ocean? This is a good one. The wave is there, and it does not need to move at all. Another good one is a fish that got together. He got a group of fish who was having satsang in the ocean. And then there was a guru there that was saying that our very fundamental nature is water. We are part of the ocean. The ocean fundamentally is water. So our nature is water, is water, is water. Understand it, You are beyond this Namarupa fish. You are the water. And then a lot of these fish started going around searching for the water. And they were swimming in the water, searching for the water. They want to reach their fundamental nature by doing something, There is no question of traveling. The idea of traveling implies distance, space, time, and so on. It's ignorance. It's a notional distance. It's neither time-wise distance or space-wise distance. No? It's purely ignorance-wise distance. Okay, he's saying that the concept of distance, which involves time, because it can be measured by how long it takes for me to cross a certain miles, or it can be just described as, no, it's only 50 miles. Time and space gives us a notion of distance. But this does not apply when we go into spirituality in search of God and furthermore in search of moksha. There is no distance because moksha is the understanding of consciousness, the only reality which is embedded is a good word, embedded in everything and everyone, such as the water in relation to all fish. It's neither time-wise, distance, nor space-wise. This is purely ignorance. So the idea of traveling in space or time to reach a certain state is different. To reach liberation or to reach Brahman is very, very, very profound, deep, hardwired ignorance. There is space, there is time, yes, but not, you don't require that when you become a religious, spiritual person, because the traveling is a traveling in understanding Saguna Ishvara and furthermore Nirguna Ishvara. That may take some time, but there is no question of space-time distance. If time-wise distance is there, you have to wait. So you went to take a bus and then you look there into the schedule. Oh, it just passed. When is the next one? 2 hours. You have to wait. No? A child wants to become a senior. So the distance between being a minor and a major is determined by what time. So the child has to wait. But in case of reaching God, there is no question of space-time distance. It is important because most people, I mean, not most spiritual or mystic or esoteric circles of people, but most religious people, they do not understand that there is no question of distance between themselves and God, because they never understood the Vishvarupa Brahma Jiva, that it's the manifestation of the cosmos is the body of the creator. It's everywhere. So people who go into the search of God and furthermore in search of reality as Nirguna Atma, they fail big time because they cannot come out of this subtle ignorance. They do a lot of physical activities, pilgrimage and going around the mountain, and they think that they are reaching closer and closer. There's no distance. There is no space or time-wise distance. It's all a cognitive process of understanding the nature of God, the creator, and the nature of Nirguna God as Brahman. But the fantasy is now, if we keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to reach God one day. I'm going to reach Brahman one day. That concept is also ignorance. The distance is purely ignorance. How do you remove ignorance with knowledge? Therefore, Vishvarupa Darshana should and will remove the idea of karma, the idea of doing something to reach God, because you are savan samapinatsi, because God is your nature, Nirguna Atma, all pervading. Therefore, you are everything. This is Arjuna. He keeps putting words in the mouths of Arjuna, and now in some here and there he talks as Arjuna. Therefore, you are everything. You are all pervading. First I say you pervade everything, then I say you are everything, like saying gold pervades all ornaments, and all ornaments are but gold. the next statement, like seeing that gold pervades all the elements, and is that there is no question of gold pervading ornament. There is only gold and gold alone. This is beautiful. It's profound. That goes to the expression. There is only Brahman and Brahman alone. Because we may get, caught up with the ornaments, with the effects of Brahman, and then we say, okay, there is the manifestation of the world. Everything is resolved in Brahman as the Brahman. But then some Mahatmas come and say there is no question of manifestation. People such as I'm tired today, is from the Karikas of the author of the Karikas,
Gaudapada.
Gaudapada. Mahatma such as Gaudapada and says, okay, so what world, what Jagata? There is nothing there. Okay, the question of gold pervade ornaments. In fact, gold is the only reality. And gold appears as all the forms of all ornaments, but there is only gold. So here there is only consciousness, there is only Brahman, there is only Atma, Nirguna Atma. That is the radical statement appearing in some of our texts. And this statement that all there is consciousness, all there is Brahman, there is no question of world, of people and things. And, those are just apparent waves, apparent ornaments, apparent namarupas. So the fundamental nature of everything is consciousness or Brahman. So there is only consciousness. That is very common statement in the direct path or new Advaita path. In those days, I was very much in contact with, I was, all there is consciousness and you are that. All there is consciousness and you are that. Of course, that gives room to a lot of confusion, because that somehow suggests that there is no such a thing as the world. Vedanta comes and say there is such a thing as the world. It's available for experience, and I tend to add, and you can even extract some knowledge of this Mithya Anatma world. You understand? Because you have to understand the world from the standpoint of the elements, the laws and principles holding this into place, our physical body. There is knowledge to be extracted of this Anatma world, So we need to understand Satya, understand Mithya, in order not to make confusion between both. That is what we call complete teaching, clear, complete teaching. And Krishna, Arjuna carries on say, regarding you as my friend, expression like, oh Krishna, hey buddy, oh Yadava, oh friend, etc. I have been rudely, indifferently, or affectionately, or intimately, let's say, using these words. But that was not nice. It was due to my ignorance of your glory. Yeah, so we have to remember, Krishna here, he's teaching, he's the Guruji, Krishna Guru. And not only he's passing on this knowledge, which means self-knowledge, but he is exposing the scriptures yeah, on self-inquiry. So he speaks as the supreme intelligence because he is a Sadhguru. He is the ultimate. Papaji used to say a perfect guru. Papaji used to suggest that there are some gurus that are perfect gurus. Ramana, to him, of course, was such as perfect guru. He would never include himself as a perfect guru. He was very humble, contrary to some ideas that James was spreading about Papaji. And so we have this perfect guru. And if you don't see the glory and the beauty and the value of having a perfect guru, you don't know how to behave with such a guru, you know. You don't know. You think that's just another jiva, another person, another neighbor. Now, we see, I mean, I see this, I'm nobody, I'm no guru, really, I just share self-knowledge due to the inspiration coming from Ishvara. And, but I see people sometimes approach in a manner, approach me in a manner which is absolutely inappropriate, as if, yeah, we're on the same page here, we're on the same page, and some people, they begin, because they come from the angle, I am a jiva, I'm a person, I'm a personality, and then I have problems of inadequacy and comparing. I had one guy that studied with me for a few years. He was a doctor. He is a doctor. Now I'm a few years not in contact with him. But he had a huge ego. In the beginning, he was managing to suppress the ego and showing some humbleness. But slowly, he started expressing that he was being very, very disturbed because he was trying to compete with me to be, and then in the end he'll say, I know you are just a little step ahead of me, but I'm come behind you, I'm gonna catch you. I mean, all these crazy ideas, because the students does not have a proper understanding of this relationship, guru disciple. Now, disciple again, guru again is part of a sampradaya. It's a link, or in the words of Shimaya, is an institution. It has nothing to do with the personality of the jiva, of the guru. But this is very often mixed up and confused, and people, they behave sometimes inadequately. Inappropriately. But you need to have somebody with a refined mind, such as Arjuna here. You now see, oh my God, how many times I address you inappropriately, and as if you were just another neighbor, another friend, or so on. There's no problem about that. The problem is only from the side of the student, because if the student does not understand that there are two things that are different. One is the personality of the teacher, and the other is the teaching, present by the teacher. And then, of course, there is another element there. The teacher should lead by example. He should teach something that he lives, the knowledge and his life should not contradict one another. But there is a lot of room for a lot of confusion in this area. Arjuna looks back because he understood that Krishna is not just an ordinary neighbor, an ordinary person. Krishna, in this case, being a perfect guru, avatar, as it said, is Bhagwan himself, is Brahmaji himself, is one of the avatars of Brahmaji. So who deserves all namaskaras, all the reverence the Lord requires? So now the guru deserves all reverence and appreciations and namaskaras. So now he knows how to treat the Lord, how to respect the Lord, but he looks back and remembers that before he got this knowledge, he has never treated the Lord Krishna. No, he did not know that Krishna was a symbol of the Lord, an expression of the Lord as an avatar. He was treating him just as any other friend, any other neighbor. How you doing, man? Therefore, he has never given the respect to the Lord the Lord deserves, and therefore he feels very bad about it. Even though Lord Krishna does not feel bad, here he says about the Lord Krishna does not feel bad because Lord Krishna understands. But Arjuna feels like, oh my God, I was behaving bad. Maybe I have insulted Krishna. Therefore, let me ask forgiveness in this verse. I thought before you were an ordinary human being and that you were a friend of mine, a neighbor, especially a friend of equal age. Therefore, I had no reverence towards you. I used irreverent, casual words. Means rudely. I behaved rudely, irreverently, without respect, impolitely. I have used many, many words. I should have addressed you as Bhagwan. But what did I do? I say, hey, brother, hey, neighbor, hey, Krishna, I have addressed you in some cultures. They have got the first, second name, and so on. So it's a question of knowing how to behave, you know. I don't know how to behave very much in the culture of Vedic culture. I never got much into the Vedic culture. And one time I got myself into trouble because I said, let me call Swamiji. I called him, I talked to him, and blah, 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 because, hi, Swamiji, hello, this is Lindo, blah, blah, blah. Those days I was living in Italy. Now I'm calling you, and you remember, oh, yes, of course, I remember you, blah, 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 blah. And then I present to him some questions. He clarified the question. And then in the end, I say, now, how are we going to do? I cannot say thank you. Thank you, thank you, Swami. It's not really, the way people, talk to a Guruji in the culture, in the Vedanta culture, You say, Hari Om, and blah, blah, blah. It's something I should say. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to say? I say, thank you so much, Swami. Swamiji, thank you so much. I want you to know I love you. When I said I love you, there was a huge silence. I think I shocked him a little bit, because it's not common. In the United States, everybody says, I love you, I love you, I love you, without meaning it. But I said, I want you to know that I love you. There was a huge silence. It was almost a little bit embarrassed. But then we say goodbye. So it's what's coming from the heart, much less than the words that are being, said. Okay, we meet again Friday, Shwar willing. I hope I'm gonna be more energetic. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishate Om Shanti 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 Om. Namaste, Om Ishwara. Thank you.
Thank you, Orlando.
Talk soon again. Bye bye.
Okay, thanks, Orlando.
Thank you.
See you Friday. Bye
Friday.
now.
Bye.